Hello, I want to welcome you to Op Art Inspiration tutorial. I will tell you what is Op Art about, how fashion stylists and fashion designers get inspiration from this great art direction, and also we'll do a quick fashion illustration tutorial. Whether you're a beginner or advanced, you can try it out. Today's topic of the tutorial is Op Art. Op Art as a term coined in 1964 by Time magazine, and it belongs to the form of abstract arts, specifically non-objective arts. What does this mean? This means that it mostly relies on optical illusions in order to fool the eye of the viewer. You can find a couple of terms as far as the op art, such as optical art or retinal art, but also as kinetic art. Kinetic art relates to geometric designs that have a role to create feelings of movement or vibration. Some of the works, or most famous works as far as the op art, are mostly in black and white, but you can find also the options in different type of contrasts, such as vibrant color schemes. This art direction started in 1965 with the op art exhibition in New York called Responsive Eye that caught a lot of public attention, but also a lot of criticism. The criticism was aimed to show that this is not even the art direction, but very soon, as a consequence, the style began appearing in print, graphics, advertising, and also in fashion design. In the 60s, op art patterns started appearing on everything, from clothes to advertisement for furnishing fabrics, so it seems that really the style of the 60s was a great way for op art expression. Op art officially ended in the 70s, but even though you can find even today op art in many collections of famous fashion designers as well as stylists, so it seems that op art even today is a great way and source of inspiration and expression. Today's tutorial we will be using really simple things, because fashion illustration that we are doing inspired by op art will be in black and white. So for this tutorial I will be using, of course, basic pencils, and then you can choose whatever markers you have in a black color, and of course the one for the skin tone. If you want another choice or another option, you can use also the watercolors later on. But this is something basic, and this is going to be enough for this fashion illustration that we are doing today. Today's sketch drawing, I'm starting with getting my paper into the small frame, just to be sure that the figure is inside the paper and that I don't make mistake about going outside of the paper. So you can just put a small line just as a definition that your figure is going to be in the right place. If you're a beginner, maybe for the start it's not bad to put the line in the middle as a balance line. It's not obligation, you can just put it if you feel insecure about your fashion figure. Today's fashion figure that I will be using is going to be approximately in a 9 head proportion. I'm not just going to put so much attention in exact proportion, I'm just going to do it more freelance, because I want to put more focus on the print and op art and less into the exact proportions within the fashion figure, so I will do it more naturally and freelance. I'm starting with, of course, with the head, and I'm just now drawing the basic lines of the outline of the figure that I'm going to use as a base for the rest of the illustration. So it's going to be straightforward and it's going to be really easy to make. Don't push it with the poses for now, just make it straight, and that's enough for the start. I draw my really simple fashion figure, and I chosen a really simple 60s style dress just because, well, op art is coming from 50s and 60s, so I just want to put more attention and more importance to the print and the clothing is just supporting the story. So now I will do the print, and I've chosen a really simple way to do it. So follow me and you will see how I'm doing it. So I'm choosing, like in the middle around the waistline, I'm choosing one point. And what I will be doing is just drawing the straight lines like umbrella style. So it's going to be like this. So I'm just putting the straight lines, and from the middle of the waist, like from the waistline, I'm just putting it up. So I just want to draw attention more to the waistline and just to make a point in the middle that's going to be where the print is starting. So the next step is doing more like horizontal way lines, because op art is mixing lines and geometrical shapes, and we are getting into the optical illusion. So in order to do that, it's like basically putting the elements in different positions to get that feeling. So what I will be doing is like now putting this kind of line here. And then as a spread, it goes in the opposite way, like this. I will do the same on the other side. You don't have to worry if it's not exactly the same as the other one on the other side. It's not important at this point, so you will see why not. So I'm just putting like every next shape into the different direction with the lines. I finished the lines, and as you can see, you are already getting a little bit of this optical illusion feeling with the drawing, which we are just going to put more on the spot when I start using the contrast between black and white. So now you can choose either markers that you have, or you can choose to work with the watercolors. I chosen for today to work with just the ordinary marker because it's enough, and it's not such a huge drawing, it's not a big drawing, and it doesn't need so much filling the space. So that's okay for now, and we'll start. So I will be coloring. First I start, well, where I started at the beginning anyway. So I will just color it. You can choose two options how you can work with the surface. You can continue with this part, but I chose to mix it up a little bit. So for the next one, as a form for coloring, I will choose this one. Just to get more optical illusion, more of the feeling of the optical illusion. So it's very easy and very simple, and I think it's fun. And it's also relaxing kind of, so I think you will like it when you start doing it, because it's simple and still relaxing and very creative. So I continue to do this to fill out the space. I've chosen to do it in black and white, but you can also do it in any color that you want. I prefer today to do it in a black and white just because optical art started with black and white combinations, but you can choose to do it whether it's black or some other color, or white in contrast with some other color. Now I will just finish the details of this drawing, like put the skin tone and just a little bit of a shading, and you can add up the details that you want within the fashion figure and this basic illustration. And then when you finish, we'll continue with some details to advance with the fashion illustration drawing that we are doing today. As you can see, I got this cute little dress inspired by op art. I could stop here, but if you want to make it more fun and more creative, we can work a little bit more on background that can put even more attention on this op art illusion. So I will play with it now, and I will use basically more or less the same print that I'm using right now, just on a bigger surface and bigger space, just to put a little bit more attention to what we are doing today and what is the theme of today's tutorial. So I will put my figure as the middle of the spot and point where I'm starting the print for the background. So I'm just spreading it a little bit like this. I will stop here just because I want to put a little bit here of perspective and space, like she's standing in some optical illusion space. So I will just now use the print that I was using here. Just I'm not going to put it in so much in a wavy version. I'm just going to put it a little bit more straight. So stay tuned to see how it's going to work. As you remember in the dress, I was skipping like the surfaces a little bit just to mix it up. As far as the background, I decided to do it a little bit different. So I'm just going to make it more like wavy lines, whether not like just the space that it's filled with the color. So we are going to start with this one. At this point, you can use also the watercolors. I think it's faster and easier. But as you can see, I will do it this way. I finished basically the part of the background. If you want to make it more fun and more advanced, what you can do is play with some different kind of a print. So I'm just going to show it and quickly. You don't have to do it. It can be done. It can be finished at this moment. But if you just want to play around a little bit more with it and make it more optical into illusion, then you can just... So I'm putting the straight lines into the space, and what I'm going to do is just to change the direction of the lines like this. Okay, so this is it. I mean, I will finish a little bit more as far as the shapes. I'm waiting to color to dry as far as the watercolor. I made it really simple because I want everybody to be able to do it. But if you want to make it more complicated, of course, you can play around with the shapes depending on the format of the paper that you have as far as the background. You can play with the position of the figure or different type of clothing, but as far as me, this is enough to make it more simple and to put the attention to the up part. Let's wrap this video. So I hope you liked it. I hope it was useful. I'm waiting for your works. I'm waiting for your thoughts and comments. I'm more than glad to answer. And if you have any questions, I'm here. Don't forget to follow Fashion Week Now classes for more videos and tutorials. And don't forget that fashion is fun, so be creative and see you soon. Bye bye!